What's cooking, everybody? I'm David Porkchop here, and this is another list of unreleased things on a DVD or home video that are desired or wanted there. Okay, so to be perfectly frank, this is probably going to be my last video on the topic here, or at least anytime soon, because I just kept falling more and more down the rabbit hole and kept finding more and more things and whatnot. I mean, I've had multiple false starts on this because there were things that came up or whatnot there, but I'm just going to settle with this as it is here. And so I'm going to start off with, for any of you that haven't seen the previous videos, I'm going to do a quick little recap here of the stuff I've covered previously, even if it was just briefly passing, like some honorable mentions from the past, and the ones that were actually on the list of the previous videos. So we are going to do that right now. Okay, here we go. This is an honorable mentions lightning round of stuff that hasn't been mentioned yet. So here we go with this part. Alright, Streetwise from 1984. The documentary about Hollywood called Hollywood from 1980. Roadback, or The Roadback from 1937, City of Hope from 1991, Dead Solid Perfect from 1988, The Last Movie from 1971, Meet the Applegates from 1989, The Keep from 1983, The Complete Text Avery, which was released in 1993. You know, one that doesn't have, digital noise reduction issues there. Creating Rem Lazar from 1989, I think. Dream Demon from 1988. The Amazing Mr. Bickford from 1987. Alright, anyway, let's just get into the list proper here, and I'll try to keep the stuff as brief as I can here. So just bear with me a little bit here, because I'm doing this based on writing a list down and then from what little I know of these things here. Okay, so here we go. Let us begin. That 80s show. Okay, and I apologize for the abrupt audio change in quality here on this one here, because as I was editing this, I came across one more thing that I didn't want to overlook here, and rather than just putting in a title card with goofy music there, even though I do like the music from Get the Picture, I decided I wanted to highlight it there, and I'll go on record saying I'm probably the only person on the planet that remembers and likes the show, that 80s show. I mean, it was nowhere near as long-lived as the show that it spun out from, that 70s show. Although that 80s show, me being an 80s fan there, it really spoke to the stuff about the era that I liked there, and it had pretty decently memorable characters or whatnot, but it didn't really stick around as a hit there, and it only lasted the one season, and it has never been released on DVD or home video. I would assume it's because of the fact that they use a lot of music, because a couple of the characters worked in a record store, so they have music playing in the background and whatnot there. So I imagine sort of similar to the WKRP in Cincinnati situation there, there's going to be a lot of difficulties there with this, getting it onto DVD and home video, and also on account of the fact that the show is nowhere near as beloved as WKRP in Cincinnati. I doubt somebody like Shout Factory is going to come in and swoop in there, because there probably just isn't much of a demand for this kind of show, unfortunately. But one can dream, but you know, I still want to give it a little bit of a mention there. So there we go, to be the new start of this list here. And all the other audio you're going to hear from here on out there is from the original bit where I recorded all this in rapid fire succession there. So, all right, let's go. The Mighty Heroes. This was from 1966, rated by Ralph Bakshi for Terry Toons of all things there, and it ran for a single season of 20 episodes on the CBS network there. And it followed a group of kind of dim-witted, very silly superheroes fighting bad guys like the Shrinker and whatnot there. And you have the superheroes of Tornado Man, Rope Man, Strong Man, Diaper Man, and Cuckoo Man. And, they meant well and whatnot there. And then in the revamp, that weird, whatchamacallit there, that weird Ren and Stimpy style edition of Mighty Mouse that came out in the 90s, or the late 80s, I forget which. They had them there, made a cameo, and they were dilapidated, old, and everything, and whatnot, and I thought it was it's a little sad, because I saw the reruns of the original, and I remembered how awesome they were there, but ultimately it was a pretty silly and fun premise there, but ultimately the show was a lot of fun there. I think that this could work as a computer-animated film there, with the right tone. I think this could really work, so why the heck not there? I put out the call for the Mighty Heroes on DVD and Blu Ray. Alright, let's move on, shall we? Harry and the Hendersons, the TV series there. And this was a series that ran from 1991 in syndication until 1993. It ran for 3 seasons. And it's a sitcom based on it's a TV series based on the movie with John Lithgow and Melinda Dillon, and also featuring Kevin Peter Hall, better known as the big giant guy from Big Top Pee-wee, and the guy inside the Predator suit in, Predator. He played the role of Harry in the movie, and he also played Harry in the TV series until sadly he passed away toward the tail end of production of season 1 there. It was replaced. The role was filled in there by Diane Scott. I hope I pronounced that correctly there. And then also Brian Steele as well there, those two guys filled in the suit and whatnot there. This is supposed to take place after the movie. And, just a little fun little sitcom there. And there you go. And even I think toward the tail end of the thing, he was actually exposed to the world, and people didn't have to worry about hiding him, and people were just sort of nonchalant about there being a Sasquatch hanging around with them, which is pretty cool, I guess. The only thing I just I just barely remember the show. I just remember the show existed, and I remember liking the movie. I don't know why I wasn't into the show at the time, but probably because it was on at an awkward time there. Syndicated shows didn't really stick with me for some reason, probably because they were on at unusual times, and there was no consistency there. And not that there's really any consistency now with syndicated shows now, but that's beside the point. This is pre-Netflix or whatever, so therefore you couldn't just pull it up whenever you wanted to or whatnot there. So there you are. But yeah, why not? I like to see Harry Henderson's continued story adventures there, Give us a little thing about more of how they came across, making the makeup and the effects work for the Harry suit there for the show. I mean, from the movie, it was some pretty interesting bonus features on the movie, if I recall correctly, so why not do the same for the show? I think it'd be fun. Next. Suburbia from 1996. Okay, now FYI, you can get this as a digital download on Amazon Video or whatever, which I think you can watch it as a digital download on Amazon Video or whatnot there. But other than that, and a VHS release, that's about it. It hasn't been released on DVD in the US or whatnot there, or Blu Ray that I'm aware of. So that's why I'm putting it on the list here. But yeah, it's about a bunch of teenagers from the suburbs, and they're trying to go through the whole thing of adulting or whatnot there, trying to support each other through becoming adults there, and hanging around on the outside of some shithole convenience store or something like that. It's I mean, it might come across very similarly to Clerks, but this is a very different thing altogether, because I was introduced to this as a play, and I auditioned for one of the parts in it, but I sadly didn't get it when I was doing it in college. We were doing it in college. I didn't get any of the parts, but I worked on the construction of the set and everything there. But yeah, it's a pretty decent movie. I mean, it has 6.8 stars on IMDb, so, not the best thing ever, but definitely not awful by any stretch of the imagination, so why not put it out there on DVD and Blu Ray? Go for it, Alright, next. You can't do that on television. You want to know where Nickelodeon got the, why you associate Nickelodeon with green slime? This is the show right there. And the show was on for multiple years, and it was one of Nickelodeon's first, quote-unquote, original hits, even though the show came from Canada and whatnot there. Yeah, and Alanis Morissette was part of the cast as well there, which is fine. I mean, I just liken that to when Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, and Kerry Russell all came from the cast of the new Mickey Mouse Club that was on in the 90s. Which, might as well throw that as an honorable mention as well. Why the hell not? But, anyway, yeah, I mean, this was a fun show. It had lots of segments like Introduction to the Opposites. Anytime somebody said the word water would fall on them. If they said the word I don't know, this green slime would come on them there. And, it was a lot of fun there. And it was sort of a very, very, very early precursor to all that. And, later Saturday Night Live and Mad TV and stuff like that, as well. I mean, there was stuff that, you had Saturday Night Live and, SCTV before that, obviously. But, I'm talking about, for the younger generation now, that really left an impression on them there. And, yeah, the VHS tapes, the few that exist for this, are pretty hard to come by. So, there you go. Come on, Nickelodeon. Embrace your history, You can't do that on television, but maybe you can do that on DVD and Blu Ray. Why the heck not? Alright. Next. Nothing Lasts Forever. From 1984. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting one there, to say the least here. Let me see here. This stars Zach Galligan, better known as Billy from the Gremlins films, and Lauren Tom. But then you also have supporting cast members including Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and whatnot. John Belushi was supposed to be in the movie, but he passed away before production on this began or whatnot. And it's a very weird movie. I guess like he is whatchamacallit. He goes onto a bus and then they're apparently going to the moon or something, or I don't know. It's I think it's in black and white if I remember correctly, so it's like it's sort of sci-fi, but it's a little weird. It's pretty strange or whatnot there, from what I understand. I have never seen the movie. Apparently there was some legal issues with keeping it on DVD or whatnot there. However, it was leaked on the YouTube, supposedly. I haven't looked to see if it's still there. And Turner Classic Movies did air it on their channel as part of some block that they had going on there in 2015, which is pretty cool. And there's been a handful of screenings for the film there. Other than that, that's about it there. That's about all I know there. But it's a pretty little odd curiosity piece there. And of course, Murray and Aykroyd have said that, hey, if this movie is released, they'll gladly participate in creating bonus material there for the film. So why the heck not there? And this is produced by Lorne Michaels, so I'm sure he would be all over this with the opportunity to create this there. You know, get it on DVD anyway. So, or Blu Ray, whatever. Home media, okay? So, there you go. And it's directed by Tom Schiller, okay? Just so, get that bit out there, too. Alright, next.
Jimmy, stop! Wash that toothpaste off your brush. Here, I'll do it.
Mom, you're wasting Gleam.
I found a better toothpaste.
Better than Gleam?
Yes, new Gleam. It's a better way to fight decay. It has stannous fluoride plus stannous pyrophosphate.
What's that?
It's preventive medicine for fewer cavities.
Gee, tastes great.
Get new Gleam. It's a better way to fight decay.
Dudes from 1987 / We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll from 1996. Alright, yes, this is definitely a pretty interesting one here, to say the least. We basically had a double feature here of Penelope Spheeris, a very awesome and talented writer, director, producer, whatnot, and she's directed quite a number of films, including the one that I mentioned before, in passing, The Decline of Western Civilization, and also Wayne's World, of course. That goes without saying there, but her entire breadth of material is just incredible awesome there, you know, to say the least, so... but yeah, Dudes from 1987, it's just this weird little adventure, whatever, Western punk thing or whatever, with John Cryer, and you got Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is in it too, and all this stuff happens and whatnot there, and because I'm honest, to be honest, this is a movie I'm not familiar with, but this popped up on every single list of unreleased movies onto DVD and video that apparently were being sought after, and She also wrote, let me see here, was she the, hold on a moment here. She wrote and directed the 1984 version of Suburbia, not to be confused with the one that is on this list here, because that one, this one here from 1984 has been released onto DVD, and it's still pretty easy to find there, thanks to Shout Factory, of course. Kazaa. How do these guys always save the day there? I'm telling you. Shout Factory is the best, is one of the ultimate superheroes there in the world there, you know? Okay, but we sold our souls for rock and roll, I think I said the 90s, by mistake there, but it actually is 2001, because obviously it was filmed in 1999, but it was released in 2001 there, and there apparently were some legal issues there with delaying of the release there, and I don't think it has it doesn't have an official release, because I guess some of the bands didn't sign off on it, though, because it's about what happened at Ozfest, so some of the bands probably didn't sign off on it there, but this is a pretty widely bootlegged movie film there, documentary, so I guess it's not that difficult to see, but at the same time, it doesn't have an official release there, so make of that what you will. So we're going to call this a Penelope Spheris double feature here, and let's get both of these onto DVD, and if she has any other unreleased material there, then we go for that as well, okay? Kazaa. Next. The RoboCop TV series and animated series. Okay, now this technically isn't Marvel. I mean, this was really in that Marvel block of Saturday morning cartoon programs, but there was a limited series of RoboCop animated form there, which was pretty cool, which has not been released on DVD. Now, I believe the let me see here. From what I understand, the RoboCop series, apparently there were two of them. I think they were released in Canada, but to my knowledge, I believe they're out of print. Then there was another one that was released on several individual bits onto DVD. Now that one is pretty easy to find, and I believe that is the complete bit of that show. But the one that was in the earlier 90s there, that one has since become out of print, best of my knowledge there. So I think it'd be pretty cool to see a RoboCop TV series, especially if it features the same, I mean, it's not going to have the same effects and violence and stuff, but if it has the same sort of tone that is along the lines of the first two films, maybe not so much the third one, but, you know, if it has that sort of tone, go for it, you know, put this out there, and I think it'd be fun, you know? I mean, I love RoboCop, so who doesn't love RoboCop, you know? I'll even say that the remake was pretty decent, you know? Kind of unnecessary, but at least it was decent, so, hey, what the heck not? Alright, next! The Return of the Revenge of the Curse of the Ghost of the Evil of the Son of Frankenstein. I am not kidding. Okay, let me go on record in saying that that is a pretty fun title to say, first of all. Second of all there, just a little bit of a personal note there, because I wanted to make sure I got the title right there, which is kind of weird considering I posted a link to this here. I came across a videotape copy of this, and I posted it. I transferred it and posted it to YouTube so it would be preserved, because I thought this movie was awesome, to say the least there, and it's a nice little tribute there to the old Universal Monster stuff there, but poking fun at it a little bit too there, and the creator of the film, Mr. David C.J. Bunn, actually posted on Twitter. He actually linked to my video, and he posted a link on his Facebook page there to my video link there, commenting about it there, and which is pretty cool. I'll put a link to his link in the description below, and yeah, there you go. Apparently, when he made the movie, he had the fire department shut down the college and sent people screaming from the graveyard, you know, during that particular scene, and yeah, and it was shot on let's see here. It was shot on Super 8mm, black and white with color cartoon inserts there, which is, and some of his friends and whatnot there. And well, there you go. So it's a fun little movie there. And I would say put this on DVD. This would be hilarious to have on DVD there. I mean, come on, David. From one David to another there. Come on, man. There you go. Put this out there, you know. It's just for my own personal amusement there. But kudos to you there, man. And thank you for making this thing. It was a lot of fun to watch. So, here's to you there, man. And all your other future projects and stuff there. Support that guy, okay? Because if you make something this awesome, you got to support all this other stuff there, because I'm sure it's also awesome there. Okay. Let's move on, shall we? Next. Chico and the Man. Yes, here we go. Now we're getting some really interesting stuff right here. Yes. All right, Chico and the Man is a sitcom. It went for 4 seasons on NBC from 1974 to 1978. And supposedly it was inspired by some Cheech and Chong skits or whatnot there that they did. And it follows Freddie Prinze Sr., father of Freddie Prinze Jr., as you all well know there, in his breakthrough role there. Let me see here. Just bear with me a moment. It was created by the same fella who created stuff like Welcome Back, Kotter and The Courtship of Eddie's Father. Yep. Yeah. It in addition to Freddie Prinze, it also starred Jack Albertson, better known to modern audiences as Grandpa from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Let's see here. It ran for 88 episodes over that period of time there. Toward the tail end of the 3rd season, sadly, he was struggling with depression and drug use, and then Freddie Prinze, shot himself and sadly committed suicide there, and at the age of 22. Wow, so sad. There was so much potential there with him, I'm telling you, definitely. Very easily. I remember a lot of people in my community were saddened, from what I've been told there, my mom was a big fan of his. Very sad there. But this show had a great bunch of cameos from a lot of different people there. And, Jose Feliciano, better known as the guy who wrote Feliz Navidad, wrote the theme song for this, and even made a guest appearance as, one of the Chico's cousin there, Pepe Fernando. Tony Orlando also made an appearance on the show. Cesar Romero did, as his father. And there was a lot of people that have popped up on this show from time to time there, so which is pretty cool. There you go. I mean, there was a DVD with a whole bunch of episodes of the show here, which I think has become hard to find. I think they should put the whole thing out on DVD, or put out season sets there, or put out the complete series, 88 episodes there, but as a budget thing there, make some money on it there, you know? You would make a lot of people very happy with this here. So, can't go wrong there. Alright, so let's move on. Next. My Pet Monster. Okay, now before you say anything there, hey, that's already been released on DVD there. Yes, I am aware. The animated series My Pet Monster has been released onto DVD and is easily to find. Okay, that's great. I'm referring to the live action one there. The one with this DVD, with the one with this VHS cover. Nostalgia Critic talked about it already, and you've seen this cover before. You already know what this is. So, yeah. Oh, goodness here. And why should this be released on DVD? Well, 2 words. Allison Court. Because she's awesome. You want to know why some of the bad guys in some of the Mega Man games are named after Guns N' Roses? That's her. Because she's awesome. The big comfy couch, she was Lunette. She's awesome. Okay, there you go. She's done a lot of voiceover work and acting and stuff like that there. So, this girl, and she got her start in here. She played his sister on this there. Because in this version of My Pet Monster, instead of it being just monsters for no reason or whatever, this guy gets cursed and then he starts turning into a monster. I think this was a pilot, intended to be a pilot for a show, but it didn't go anywhere, probably because it was a low budget or whatnot there, and it was pretty silly, so they just released it as its own thing. And then there you go. So, yep, here we go. So, what do you say we move on to the next one on the list, shall we? Dino Riders from 1988. Yep, there seemed to be a whole trend of dinosaur-themed stuff in the 80s there. I probably could do another list on that alone, which I might do. But anyway, this was a show where you had people with dinosaurs with armored stuff attached here. And if that sounds sort of familiar to you, don't worry, we'll get into that there, because there was another one around the same time that had a similar premise, not exactly, but instead of it being humans with regular dinosaurs that they rode and had weapons attached to it or whatever, that other one is something different. But I'm talking about Dino Riders here. I remember that. These figures were about the same size as mask figures, maybe a little bit bigger and bulkier. You had dinosaurs with armored things, lasers, and all kinds of cool stuff, and they would fight each other, and it was really cool. Yeah, but anyway, the Dino Riders had a couple of VHS things there, and only 14 episodes that were aired toward the end of 1988. So this one, I think, was a little bit more of a falls under the shameless cash-in thing. They would attempt to try to sell the toy line or whatnot there. It wasn't like Transformers or He-Man, where they actually were legitimately trying to tell interesting stories and stuff there. But I digress. So I would say put it out there. Why the heck not? It'd be fun, I guess. You know, a little nostalgia, and people like dinosaurs again, Jurassic World and all that sort of thing. There you go. So I would say go for it. Next,